We will start with perhaps the most used plugin from today's video, the FabFilter Pro Q3. My favorite features of this plugin include the natural phase mode, extremely tight notch filters, the ability to alter the Q setting of a bell curve, and finally having the option of turning any EQ band into an active equalizer. Furthermore, it has a terrific frequency analyzer. For a full list of features, please visit the FabFilter website because going over everything this EQ can do will warrant its own video. As my favorite character EQ, I usually like to use the Waves API collection. The API 560 graphic equalizer is particularly useful to clean up the lower mids on electric guitars. The 550A and 550B EQs both have very smooth high and low shelves as well as very musical midbands featuring the proportional Q design. Proportional Q means that the bandwidth of the filter becomes narrower as the gain of the filter increases. The 550A also has a very useful bandpass filter ranging from 50 Hz to 15 kHz. For master bus duties, my favorite equalizers are either the Isotope Ozone EQ, usually controlled from the Tonal Balance plugin, or the Plugin Alliance Elysium Mastering EQ. The FabFilter Pro C2 is an incredibly versatile compressor with 8 selectable compression styles, oversampling capabilities, adjustable knee settings, look-ahead feature, as well as sidechain EQ. It is without a doubt my go-to compressor. For character compressors, I usually like to use the Plugin Alliance Acme XLA3 on bass, CLA76 or CLA3A on vocals, and DBX160 on guitars. I especially like how the DBX160 tightens the mid-range even when not compressing. For mastering duties, I like to use the Ozone 9 Maximizer, usually in IRC4 mode, Vintage Limiter, most often in Modern mode, or the FabFilter Pro L. During mixing, I often employ the Waves L1 limiter as the last plugin in my vocal chain to add final level of dynamic control. Additionally, I find the release settings on the L1 have a very nice way of bringing the vocals forward in the mix. Waves Renaissance de-esser is my go-to de-esser for vocals. It has adjustable threshold and range controls, frequency control, sidechain filter type selection, as well as split and wideband modes of operation. My favorite meter plugin is the Isotope Tonal Balance Control 2. I find it very useful during mixing as a way to check the frequency balance of your mix. Be careful though. For example, if it is showing that your mix lacks high-end, it doesn't mean that you necessarily don't have enough high-frequency information in your mix. It could be that you have too much high-mid information and it is making your highs dull in comparison. Always remember to take frequent breaks when mixing and check your mix on different monitoring sources. Always use your ears first and not your eyes. Yulin Loudness Meter is a great metering plugin to check if your master is compliant with today's loudness standards. It even has different target loudness presets for different destinations. I usually use the BX meter primarily for its phase correlation display when dealing with tracks that are hard-panned across the stereo spectrum. MV Meter 2 by TB Pro Audio is a phenomenal meter plugin that offers RMS, EBUR 128, VU, and PPM measurements. I usually use it as a VU meter and calibrate it so 0 VU equals to -18 dBFS. I especially find the max and current meter value readouts extremely useful, and this plugin is absolutely free. SPL Hawkeye is a Swiss Army knife of metering plugins. It offers level meter, loudness meter, color-coded timeline display, bit monitor, vector scope, and an extremely comprehensive frequency analyzer. It is another plugin that offers so much, going over all of its features will warrant its own video. Please make sure to go to pluginalliance.com to learn more about this amazing metering plugin. Softtube Tape offers 3 different tape style emulations with variable tape speed, dry-wet control, tape speed stability, high-frequency trim, and adjustable crosstalk. I particularly like what this plugin does to lead guitar tracks, as it offers subtle compression and can soften harsh overtones that we can often get when playing in the higher registers. Ozone Tape is phenomenal on the mix bus. The plugin features 3 tape speeds, input drive, adjustable bias, harmonics level control, and low emphasis control. Pro Tools PSA-1 is perfect for tightening the low end of a bass guitar without sacrificing any power in the lows. I often use this plugin on DI bass. One of my favorite reverbs is the TC Electronics VSS3. I love to use the large wormhole preset on drums and the chamber preset on vocals. Phoenix Verb is often used for its large and medium hole algorithms. I like to use the Waves TrueVerb plugin on distorted guitars with a very short hole sound with no early reflections whatsoever. This gives the distorted rhythm guitars just a little bit of air around the notes without sacrificing any clarity. I often use Reverb VSR4 and 480L plugins together on lead guitar tracks. The 480L gives the lead guitars that lush 80s lexicon sound, and I blend in the VSR4 for some extra width. Additionally, I love to use the large wood room preset from the 480L on the snare close mics. I blend in the lexicon reverb together with the TC VSS3 on the snare close mics, while the rest of the kit is going only to the TC Electronics reverb. For my delay needs, I use Soundtoys Echo Boy. With 30 different delay styles, groove and feel controls, custom delay rhythms, high and low pass filters, adjustable saturation, as well as 4 basic modes of operation, there isn't much this plugin can't do.